In order to reach spiritual awakening, you will encounter 9 tests, and it's crucial that you pass them. These tests stretch the fabric of your being until you can see through the veil of mundane existence and touch the divine essence of life itself. Imagine standing on the edge of an endless chasm below you. Nothing but an unfathomable depth, a void that stretches into infinity. This is not a scene from a dream, nor is it a metaphorical abyss. This is the first and perhaps the most daunting of the 9 tests of spiritual awakening. Experiencing the void. The void is where everything begins and ends, the ultimate test of letting go and the first step toward a profound transformation. It's a place where all noise fades away, leaving you in a silence so deep it echoes. Here in the emptiness lies the potential for everything. The void represents a state of being that many of us spend our lives trying to avoid. It's the space between our thoughts, the gap between breaths, the silence behind the noise of our daily lives. We're taught to fear it, to fill it with noise, distractions, and anything that keeps us from facing the vastness of our own existence. But to awaken spiritually, you must not only face the void, you must embrace it. This is not about physical solitude or isolation, but about confronting the emptiness within, the space where you come face to face with yourself, stripped of all distractions and illusions. Experiencing the void is akin to shedding old skins, letting go of who you thought you were, and confronting the raw, unfiltered essence of your being. It's a test of courage, a trial by fire that burns away the superficial to reveal the diamond hidden within. The void is where you learn to let go of attachments, desires, and the very notion of identity. Here, in the absence of everything, you find a profound sense of presence, a connection to something greater than yourself, a universal consciousness. Jean-Paul Sartre, a prominent existentialist philosopher of the 20th century, explored the existential dread that often arises when one confronts the void within themselves. In Sartre's existentialist philosophy, he emphasized the idea of human existence preceding essence, which means that we are born into this world as blank slates, and it is through our choices and actions that we define our essence. This concept resonates with the idea of confronting the void within oneself, as it challenges individuals to grapple with the inherent freedom and responsibility that come with creating their own meaning in life. Sartre believed that the experience of the void, or what he termed nausea, could lead to a profound awakening. When one confronts the emptiness and uncertainty of existence, they are forced to make choices and take responsibility for their actions. This, in turn, can lead to a deeper understanding of one's authentic self and a connection to the fundamental nature of human existence. In essence, Sartre's exploration of the void aligns with the idea that embracing the emptiness within ourselves is a necessary step on the path to spiritual awakening. It is through this confrontation that we can transcend the limitations of our ego, connect with the universal consciousness, and embark on a transformative journey toward enlightenment. As you stand at the edge of the void, you may feel fear, uncertainty, and even an overwhelming sense of loneliness. These feelings are natural. They are the guardians of the threshold, challenging you to take the leap into the unknown. But as you embrace the void, something miraculous happens. The fear transforms into freedom, the uncertainty into understanding, and the loneliness into a deep, unbreakable connection with all of existence. You realize that you are not falling into the void. You are rising from it. Reborn beyond the void lies the path to spiritual awakening, a journey through 8 more tests, each offering its own challenges and rewards. But the void is the gatekeeper, the essential first step on this transformative journey. 2. The test of transcending the ego. Having emerged from the depths of the void, carrying with you a newfound understanding and connection to the vast interconnected web of existence, you now face the second test of spiritual awakening, transcending the ego, or what many refer to as ego death. You see the ego as like a mask, a persona we wear to navigate through the world. It's made up of our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions about who we are, often fueled by societal expectations and personal ambitions. While it serves a practical purpose in everyday interactions, the ego can also trap us in a cycle of desire, fear, and constant comparison, distancing us from our true essence. Transcending the ego does not mean losing your sense of self or becoming less of who you are. Instead, it's about recognizing the limitations of the ego and moving beyond its confines to experience a deeper, more unified state of being. It's about understanding that you are not the thoughts in your head or the roles you play in life, but something far more profound. Ego death is often described as a moment of intense vulnerability, where the constructs of your identity are stripped away, leaving you feeling exposed and uncertain. This can be a frightening experience, as it challenges the very foundations upon which you've built your understanding of yourself and the world around you. But it is also a moment of great liberation. As the ego dissolves, so too do the barriers it erects between you and the world. You begin to see yourself in others and recognize the interconnectedness of all things. This is not a loss of self, but an expansion, an opening up to the vastness of existence. In the realm of Eastern philosophy, the concept of transcending the ego finds profound resonance. This spiritual journey aligns closely with teachings from various traditions, such as Buddhism and Taoism. In Buddhism, for instance, the ego is often equated with suffering. The Buddha himself emphasized the transitoriness of the self and the attachment to the ego as a source of discontentment. To achieve enlightenment, one must transcend the ego, recognizing that the self is an ever-changing illusion. Similarly, in Taoism, the ego is seen as a source of division and conflict. The Taoist philosophy encourages individuals to flow with the natural order of the universe, which requires letting go of ego-driven desires and embracing humility. By shedding the ego, one can harmonize with the Tao, attaining a state of oneness with all things. Transcending the ego requires mindfulness and presence. It's about observing your thoughts and emotions without attachment, recognizing them as transient waves in the ocean of your being. This doesn't mean repressing or denying your thoughts and feelings, but simply acknowledging them without letting them define you. Practices such as meditation, journaling, and spending time in nature can facilitate this process, helping you detach from the ego's narratives and connect with a deeper sense of self. It's a journey that requires patience, compassion, and, above all, courage as you let go of the familiar shores of identity to sail into the uncharted waters of spiritual awakening. As you transcend the ego, you experience a freedom unlike any other. Freedom from the need for approval, freedom from the fear of judgment, and freedom from the constant striving for more. You begin to live in a state of flow, moving gracefully with the rhythms of life, guided by a sense of purpose that comes from within rather than imposed from without. 3. The test of fearing mortality. After navigating the vast emptiness of the void and transcending the confines of the ego, you arrive at the third critical juncture on your spiritual awakening journey, no longer fearing mortality. The fear of death is perhaps the most universal of fears. It underpins so many of our actions and reactions, driving us to seek security, accumulate possessions, and strive for achievements as a way of leaving a mark on the world or defying our own transience. But at the heart of spiritual awakening is the realization that life and death are not opposites, but two sides of the same coin, cycles of an endless dance of creation and dissolution. To no longer fear mortality is to understand that death is not an end, but a transition, a change of form that is inherent to the very fabric of existence. This profound realization aligns closely with the concept of the Danse Macabre, or Dance of Death, a medieval allegory that highlights the universality of death. The Danse Macabre brings together individuals from all walks of life, from the Pope to the peasant, in a dance leading to the grave. This powerful imagery serves as a reminder that death is the great equalizer, sparing no one regardless of status, wealth, or power. The Danse Macabre urges us to live with the awareness of death's inevitability, encouraging us to cherish each moment and live fully. It teaches us that in accepting death, we can overcome our fears and live with greater authenticity, making choices that reflect our true selves rather than being driven by societal expectations or the illusion of permanence. Embracing the lessons of the Danse Macabre as part of our spiritual awakening allows us to see the beauty in the cycle of life and death, to find joy in the impermanence, and to cultivate a sense of peace with the natural flow of existence. It is in this acceptance and understanding that we find true freedom. Freedom from the chains of fear, freedom to live in harmony with the natural world, and freedom to appreciate the precious, fleeting moments of our lives. The fear of death often holds us back from truly living. It creates a barrier of anxiety and avoidance, preventing us from taking risks, loving deeply, and embracing change. But when you no longer fear mortality, you are freed from these constraints. You begin to see life as a precious gift to be savored and experienced fully, without the shadow of fear darkening your days. The acceptance of mortality also brings a deeper sense of connection to others and to the world around you. Recognizing your own temporariness fosters empathy and compassion as you see yourself in others, sharing the same fundamental human condition. This can lead to a more purposeful approach to life, where actions are guided by values and a desire to contribute to something greater than oneself. It encourages you to leave a positive impact, not as a way of denying death, but as an expression of the life you choose to live in the face of its inevitability. No longer fearing mortality is a profound and transformative realization, one that marks a significant milestone on the path of spiritual awakening. It is a step that prepares you for the deeper insights and experiences that lie ahead. 4. The test of heightened intuition. Once you have passed the previous tests, you find yourself stepping into an unfamiliar yet profoundly liberating landscape, the fourth test of spiritual awakening. Extremely sensitive and heightened intuition. This stage marks a significant shift in how you perceive and interact with the world around you. As you grow more spiritually awake, you might notice a newfound sensitivity to your surroundings. Colors may seem brighter, sounds clearer, and textures more nuanced. This heightened sensitivity is not limited to the physical senses. It extends to the emotional and energetic realms. You become acutely aware of the emotions and energies of the people around you, often feeling them as if they were your own. This can be overwhelming at first. The influx of sensory information and emotional energies can feel like a tidal wave, leaving you feeling exposed and vulnerable. However, this sensitivity is a gift, a tool that, when understood and mastered, can bring a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. Intuition, the quiet voice within, becomes louder and clearer as you progress on your spiritual journey. It becomes a reliable guide, offering insights and understandings that bypass conventional thought processes. This heightened intuition is like a compass, pointing you toward choices and actions that align with your higher self and the greater good. Learning to trust your intuition is a crucial aspect of this stage. In a world that often values logic and reason over inner knowing, following your intuition can seem like a leap of faith. But each time you listen to and act on this inner guidance, you strengthen your trust in yourself and the universe. This profound trust in one's intuition and the journey toward understanding the interconnectedness of all life echoes the teachings of the philosopher Alan Watts. Watts, a British philosopher known for his interpretation and promotion of Eastern philosophy to Western audiences, emphasized the importance of recognizing the unity between oneself and the external world. He believed that our sense of separation from the world around us is an illusion, a societal construct that leads to a fundamental misunderstanding of our true nature. Watts argued that by acknowledging and embracing our intrinsic connection to the universe, we could transcend the limitations imposed by conventional thought. He suggested that intuition, or what he might call the spontaneous understanding of the cosmos, plays a crucial role in this process. According to Watts, intuition is a direct experience of the cosmic order and our natural state of being. It is through intuition that we can experience the world in its totality, beyond the dualistic perception of separation between the observer and the observed. The increased sensitivity and intuition can also bring challenges. You may find yourself needing to set stronger boundaries to protect your energy and well-being. The awareness of the pain and suffering in the world can become more acute, leading to feelings of empathy overload or compassion fatigue. It's important to develop practices that help you ground and center yourself. Techniques such as meditation, spending time in nature, and engaging in creative activities can help you manage your sensitivity and stay connected to your intuition without becoming overwhelmed. The journey through extreme sensitivity and heightened intuition is one of learning to balance your openness with the need for self-care. It's about embracing your gifts while also protecting your well-being. 5. The test of seeing the divine in everything. This profound awareness alters our perception of reality, imbuing our experiences with a sense of sacredness and interconnectedness that transcends the mundane. Here in the 5th test, the challenge is not only to recognize this divine essence, but to integrate this understanding into our daily lives, reshaping our interactions with the world and its inhabitants. Unlike the previous stages, where personal transformation and internal shifts were emphasized, seeing the divine in everything invites an outward expansion of consciousness. It's as if the lens through which we view the world is replaced, revealing a luminous thread weaving through the fabric of existence, connecting all forms of life and matter in a divine tapestry. This realization comes in moments of quiet reflection, in the beauty of nature, in the arts, and in the eyes of another. It's the acknowledgement that everything, from the smallest particle to the vast cosmos, is infused with a sacred essence, a spark of the divine. In this context, Christianity offers a unique perspective that deepens this sense of sacred interconnectedness. It teaches that the divine is not only transcendent, existing beyond the physical realm, but also immanent, dwelling within and among us. This is most profoundly embodied in the concept of the Incarnation, the belief that God became flesh in the person of Jesus Christ. Through this act, the sacred and the secular are forever intertwined, illustrating that the divine essence permeates all of creation. Acknowledging the divine in everything cultivates a life of reverence. Simple acts and encounters become sacred rituals, moments to honor the interconnectedness of life. This doesn't necessitate grand gestures, but rather a shift in awareness, a choice to see and appreciate the divine presence in everyday experiences. This reverence extends to our environment, encouraging sustainable living and a compassionate stance toward all forms of life. It influences our relationships, fostering deeper connections built on mutual respect and unconditional love. In recognizing the divine in others, we mirror that divinity within ourselves, strengthening our sense of unity and compassion. The journey to see the divine in everything is not without its trials. In a world often dominated by division and materialism, maintaining this perspective requires constant vigilance and commitment. It can be challenging to perceive the sacred in the face of adversity, suffering, or the mundane aspects of daily life. Moreover, this realization challenges us to confront our own shadows, as recognizing the divine in everything includes acknowledging it within the aspects of reality and ourselves that we might prefer to ignore or reject. It's a call to embrace the whole spectrum of existence, with all its light and darkness, as expressions of the divine. As we embrace this stage, we become beacons of light, examples of how to live in harmony with the world and each other. Our journey becomes a testament to the possibility of a more compassionate, mindful, and sacred way of being, inspiring others to embark on their own path of spiritual awakening. 6. The test of solitude. Upon the path of spiritual awakening, after recognizing the divine spark in all aspects of existence, we naturally progress to a phase that might seem contradictory at first glance. Solitude. Solitude is a testament to the understanding that true connection and insight often stem from moments of quietude and introspection. Solitude is the garden in which our souls are nurtured, a place of quiet where the seeds of spiritual insights can germinate and flourish. It's in these moments of seclusion that we're able to listen to the whispers of our innermost being, connect deeply with our own essence, and recharge our spiritual batteries. This phase emphasizes the importance of creating a sanctuary within and around us, a haven where the noise of the external world is dimmed and the inner voice can be heard more clearly. Walking the path of solitude involves embracing periods of aloneness as opportunities for profound personal development. It is in solitude that we face our deepest fears, confront our inner demons, and ultimately discover our true strength and resilience. This stage of the journey challenges us to be comfortable in our own company, to enjoy the richness of our inner world, and to find peace and contentment within our own hearts. This doesn't mean we forsake relationships or community. Rather, it allows us to return to them more whole, more present, and more authentic. Solitude teaches us that by being comfortable with our own presence, we can engage with others in a more meaningful and fulfilling way. Through solitude, we gain insights and understandings that enrich our spiritual journey. We learn to be our own source of comfort and wisdom, realizing that the most profound answers we seek lie within us. This stage of solitude is crucial for integrating the lessons learned from previous tests, allowing us to emerge with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. Solitude, therefore, is not a withdrawal from life, but a deeper immersion into it. By cultivating solitude, we prepare ourselves to engage with the world in a more profound and meaningful way, armed with the insights and peace that come from deep self-reflection. One culture that has long embraced the practice of solitude as a pathway to spiritual enlightenment is that of Zen Buddhism. In Zen, solitude is not merely a physical state, but a profound practice that fosters deep meditation and insight. This philosophy teaches that true understanding and enlightenment come from a direct experience of reality, often achieved in moments of solitary contemplation. Zen Buddhism encourages the cultivation of zazen, or meditation, as a method to quiet the mind and observe the self without attachment. Solitude in Zen is an essential condition for reaching satori, or sudden enlightenment, where an individual directly experiences the nature of their existence and the universe. It's a disciplined form of solitude that requires patience, commitment, and a deep willingness to confront the self in its most authentic form. Through solitude, we ready ourselves for the subsequent stages of spiritual awakening. Each moment of solitude is a step toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe, a vital component of the journey that shapes us into beings of insight, compassion, and authenticity. Solitude, in its essence, is a powerful testament to the beauty of our inner worlds and a crucial phase in our journey towards spiritual awakening. 7. The test of impermanence. As we continue our journey of spiritual awakening, we arrive at the 7th test, accepting impermanence. This phase delves into the fundamental truth of existence, that all things are in a constant state of flux and change. It challenges us to release our grip on the illusion of stability and control, and to embrace the ever-shifting nature of reality. Impermanence is a universal law governing all aspects of life. Seasons change, relationships evolve, and our own bodies transform over time. Yet, despite its inevitability, we often resist change, clinging to what is familiar and known. This resistance can lead to suffering, as we futilely attempt to hold on to that which cannot be held. Accepting impermanence means recognizing that change is not an enemy, but a companion on our journey. It is the river that carries us forward, the wind that propels our sails, and the force that allows life to renew and regenerate. It is in accepting the impermanence of all things that we find freedom. To accept impermanence is to surrender to the flow of life, to let go of the need for rigid plans and expectations. It involves releasing the grip of the ego, which often seeks to control and resist change. Instead, we learn to adapt, to flow with the currents of life, and to trust that every moment is a unique opportunity for growth and transformation. This surrender does not imply passivity, but rather an active engagement with life. It means making choices and taking action while remaining open to the possibility that circumstances may change. It is a dance with the unknown, a willingness to embrace uncertainty as an ally rather than a threat. Accepting impermanence grants us the wisdom to appreciate each moment fully. When we understand that every experience, whether joyful or challenging, is fleeting, we learn to savor it more deeply. The beauty of a sunset, the laughter of a loved one, and the lessons learned from adversity all become more precious when we realize they are temporary. 8. The test of living without judgment. In the 8th phase of our spiritual awakening journey, we confront a powerful and transformative test: living without judgment. Judgment is a deeply ingrained aspect of the human experience. From a young age, we learn to categorize, evaluate, and form opinions about the people and situations we encounter. While judgment serves a practical purpose in making decisions and discerning potential dangers, it can also become a source of division, prejudice, and suffering. The judgmental mind often operates on autopilot, forming quick assessments based on preconceived notions and biases. This can lead to misunderstandings, conflict, and a sense of separation from others. Living without judgment involves a conscious effort to break free from the habitual patterns of criticism and prejudice. It requires self-awareness and mindfulness as we observe our own judgments without attachment and choose to respond with understanding and compassion instead. To release the shackles of judgment is to recognize that every individual is on their unique path, shaped by their experiences and circumstances. It is acknowledging that beneath the surface, we all share a common humanity, with fears, hopes, and vulnerabilities. It is seeing others not as objects to be evaluated, but as fellow travelers in the journey of life. By embracing non-judgment as a guiding principle in our lives, we move closer to the ultimate realization of inner peace, a state of being that transcends judgment, fear, and separation, and allows us to experience the fullness of our existence in harmony with the world around us. 9. The test of inner peace. At last, we arrive at the final test of our spiritual awakening journey: inner peace. This stage represents the culmination of our efforts, the realization of a state of being that transcends the turbulence and discord of the external world. Inner peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but a profound inner harmony that radiates tranquility, contentment, and a deep sense of interconnectedness. Inner peace is the ultimate destination of the spiritual journey, a state of being that transcends external circumstances. It is not contingent upon the absence of challenges or difficulties, but is instead a product of our inner response to them. This quest is not about seeking external validation or material success, but discovering a profound inner contentment that cannot be shaken by external events. It is about finding a deep well of serenity within, a source of resilience and strength that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. One of the keys to inner peace is letting go of attachments to outcomes, possessions, and even our own identity. It is the recognition that true happiness does not depend on external achievements or acquisitions, but is an intrinsic quality of our being. By releasing the grip of attachments, we free ourselves from the cycle of desire and fear that often keeps us in a state of restlessness. We learn to find joy in the present moment, appreciating life as it unfolds rather than constantly striving for some future state of happiness. Inner peace is closely connected to the practice of mindfulness and presence. It involves fully inhabiting the present moment, letting go of regrets about the past and worries about the future. It's about being fully present with whatever arises, whether it's joy, sorrow, or simply the quiet rhythm of everyday life. In the final stage of our journey, we come to realize that inner peace is not something to be achieved through effort alone, but a natural state of our being. It is not an absence of noise, but a profound stillness that resides within us, awaiting our recognition. And so we reach the end of our journey.